In this edition of The Great Game, dear viewer, I'm going to talk to you about Rahul Gandhi. Now, we know that Rahul is the Congress Party's most powerful leader. He is the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha, and that he's traveling across South America, 4 countries, including Brazil and Colombia. In fact, he's in Colombia even as we speak. And that is the subject of my Great Game column in the Tribune newspaper. It comes out every Saturday morning, and I'd request you to read it, dear viewer, not just to read my column, The Great Game, but also to follow us on social media, on all our social media, on our YouTube channel, of course, buy the newspaper and read the stories on our website. We have a revamped website, so I would be hugely grateful if you saw it, subscribe to it, and tell us what you think about our work here at the Tribune. So back to my column, The Great Game, in the Tribune this morning, in which I start with talking about Rahul Gandhi's visit to Colombia. He's in a place called Envigado, or at least he was a couple of days ago. He's probably moved on. And he's in a university called the EIA University in Envigado, which is probably a town near Medellin, pronounced Medellin, in Colombia, as I just said. And he's at this university and he's speaking to people. But in his on his social media, on his ex social media, he's tweeted a photo of himself in which he's exchanged his trademark white T-shirt. Now, if you know, dear viewer, that in India, wherever he goes, Rahul, he wears a white T-shirt and, sort of black pants or whatever, grey pants. But everywhere, whether it's in Parliament or outside, whether he's on the Vote Adhikar Yatra or on his Bharat Jodo Yatra, he wore that white T-shirt. Now, we don't know why he wears a white T-shirt, but probably it's like a modern day or a younger version of the white kurta pajama that Congress people, or really politicians of all hues, wear. So in this Envigado social media post, he's exchanged his trademark white T-shirt for a navy blue shirt and a navy blue puffer jacket, and he's wearing these very smart, khaki cargo pants. And he's standing in front of a motorcycle. It's a Pulsar bike, which is made by Bajaj Auto. And he tweets and he says, proud to see Bajaj, Hero and TVS do so well in Colombia. Shows Indian companies can win with innovation, not cronyism. And of course, Rahul is referring to allegedly to the cronies of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He's attacked them every so often, especially Mr. Mukesh Ambani and Mr. Gautam Adani, which he believes have earned their wealth or multiplied their wealth because of the connections they allegedly have with Prime Minister Modi and with the BJP government. This is what Rahul Gandhi believes, and which he has said so openly, and we know that. So what he's trying to say is that there are Indian companies who don't need to be crony capitalists. They don't need to do my bop with the government in power. That the hard work that they do will showcase itself, and it not just in India but all across the world. And the example he gives is of this Pulsar bike, which is made by Bajaj Auto. But here is what I would like to say. Bajaj Auto, the managing director of which is Rajiv Bajaj, his father, Rahul Bajaj, whose father was Jamnalal Bajaj, who we know was a very close friend of Mahatma Gandhi's, but let's not go there for the time being. Rahul Bajaj Senior, who expanded the Bajaj empire, was very much, in fact, he was a classic card-carrying crony capitalist of the pre-liberalization license Raj era. In fact, he was a very much part of what was called the Bombay Club, which opposed liberalization, which opposed economic reform in the early 90s by saying that you're going to open up everything, you're going to bring in reform, it's going to upset the whole country, people are not going to understand what's going on, there will be a lot of corruption. And then guess what happened? Just exactly the opposite. The animal spirits of the Indian entrepreneurial class of industrialists kicked in, And the last 30 years have seen the kind of growth in India never been seen before since India became independent in 1947. So from 1991, then Finance Minister Manmohan Singh under then Prime Minister Narasimha Rao unveiled this economic reform which no successive or succeeding Prime Minister has had the courage to take back or to turn back. So here was Rahul Gandhi, who was talking about the fact that, this Bajaj, giving the example of this Bajaj bike. Probably he doesn't know that these are the antecedents of the Bajaj company. Nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying is that each one has to do what they have to do, including the Bajajs. But what I'm saying here is that Rahul Gandhi, as the most powerful leader of his party, should know what is happening, especially if he's giving an example of it. So in my column, I go on to talk about the importance of Rahul Gandhi. Why is he so important to the Congress party, and not just to the party, but also to the country? The first is that he is the leader of the opposition. Like I said before, he is the most powerful leader in the Congress, but he doesn't want he doesn't want a position in the Congress party. The presidentship of the Congress party is been given to Mallikarjun Kharge. His mother, as we know, was the president, Sonia Gandhi, while Dr. Manmohan Singh was the prime minister. That was, again, a division in the ranks, an experiment that had never been contemplated before, at least in Indian politics, but it worked well. And now Rahul, the Congress is not in power, we know that, but he refuses to wear the crown of thorns or sit in the leader's chair, which we know is engraved with nails. Instead, he has given this chair or this crown of thorns to Mallikarjun Kharge, while he himself, still the most powerful leader in the Congress party, exercises power without responsibility. And that is the real problem, the real fracture at the heart of Indian democracy that we see every day, day after day after day. And the reason I say this, dear viewer, the reason I'm making this very harsh judgment on Rahul Gandhi, don't get me wrong, I think he's a very intelligent man and that he's done many interesting and many intelligent things, and I will give you an example in a minute. But the reason I think there is a problem that is uncoiling at the heart of Indian democracy is because Rahul Gandhi, this most powerful leader in the opposition, is refusing to take responsibility for this power. And what that is doing is that the Congress party, which loses election after election after election, in the last 11 years since Narendra Modi came to power, the BJP came to power, the Congress has lost most elections. The Congress party is in power today in only 3 states of the country, Karnataka, Himachal Pradesh and Telangana. Rahul Gandhi has lost every state and every general election, 3 general elections in the last 11 years since the BJP came to power. But nobody questions Rahul about why he continues to be this very powerful leader, and that's the problem. And what that does then is that it allows the BJP to make fun of him, to be dismissive of him. And even now in his trip across South America, across 4 countries, we only know 2 by the way, Brazil and Colombia, the Congress party hasn't told us which are the 2 countries that he's been to. The Congress party yet again is making fun of the fact that this man, this princeling, has left the mother country and he's traveling across South America. Now, you would argue there's nothing wrong in expanding your mind, your horizons, trying to influence new audiences. That's all very well. But remember, there is a big election around the corner in Bihar. All the opposition political parties have come together, as well as civil society, in the last few weeks, including Rahul Gandhi, leaders of so many parties, to put pressure on the Election Commission, which had undertaken this special intensive revision in the Bihar election. Thousands of votes were deleted, some were added. All these political parties, including the Congress party, put this pressure. People went to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court has ordered the Election Commission to comply with the fact that basic identification, including the Aadhaar card, which by the way was not considered to be a document earlier, the Supreme Court has now ordered that the Election Commission consider the Aadhaar and several other documents as proofs of identity, which they can use to vote in this coming election in Bihar. But where is Rahul Gandhi? He's in South America. Only a very few weeks are left before Bihar goes to the poll in November, just over a month or so. In fact, in the coming days, the Election Commission is likely to announce the dates for the Bihar election. And Mr. Gandhi will be traveling across Brazil and Colombia and to unnamed countries in South America. Now, do you think that's a serious matter in Indian politics? I would certainly think so. So here is the argument that there's absolutely nothing wrong with Mr. Gandhi traveling wherever he wants to in the world. And I'm not even going as far as to say that, when the BJP sort of very dismissively says that he's made 247 foreign trips in the last 11 years since the BJP's come to power. That is his personal problem. What is problematic definitely is that when he makes some of these trips during Parliament session, when he should be in Parliament in attendance, especially since he's the leader of the opposition. It is believed that in the last budget session earlier this year in March or April, he was in Vietnam. That's alleged. I don't know for sure, dear viewer, but that's what the BJP leaders accused him of. The point is, and that's what I'm arguing in the Great Game in my column this week in the Tribune, there are 2 points that I'm making. The first is that Rahul Gandhi can no longer afford to be a part-time politician, where he goes to Parliament, makes his speeches, leaves, sometimes goes out of the country on holiday or elsewhere, we don't know. He has to continue to make politics his full-time business. And the reason that we are saying this, that a lot of people are saying this, is because he's the leader of the most powerful, of the largest opposition party in the country. Even today, despite the fact that the Congress party has shrunk so much, and I've said that it's in power in only 3 states, despite that shrinking, the Congress party exists in every state, in every mohalla, in every kucha, in every gully, in every basti across the country. Rahul Gandhi, as the most powerful leader in the Congress party, is the leader of this kind of party, which is an umbrella party that exists across the country. And yet, it is not able to make a difference. The question is why? And my answer to this in my column, The Great Game, dear viewer, and I say that the reason Rahul is not able to make a difference, and the Congress party therefore is not able to properly challenge the BJP in Parliament and outside, is because Rahul Gandhi is not being he's not being punished for his lack of dedication, and the second is that if he wants to devote himself to full-time politics, then that's what he does. Then that's what he should do. And because he is a part-time politician, he gives the BJP an easy ride. And this is what I would like to end my Great Game column with, dear viewer. Because he gives the BJP an easy ride, he paves the way for Prime Minister Modi to remain in power. And we have seen what has happened in the last 11 years. I'm not blaming anybody, dear viewer. Prime Minister Modi, I'm sure, works really hard to come back again and again and again, elected by the people of India. And the BJP, his political party, allegedly the largest political party in the world, works really hard to win election after election after election. So the question is, where is Rahul and why is he not here doing the hard work for the Bihar election instead of tramping all over South America? I'm going to end here, but I would be grateful for your comments to my video, and also to request you to follow the Tribune on all its social media handles on X, on Facebook, Instagram, and on LinkedIn, and tell us what you think about our work. Thank you so much for watching.